Hello, friends, family, loved ones. Welcome to the Thursday evening edition of the Coffee Run. Golly, this lighting is not fabulous. Okay, so I've done my little dramatic entrance. You need to excuse me. I'm feeling a little worse for wear, given that oh my God, I've just broken my computer stand. Oh, wow, that's close, isn't it? Oh my golly. Who's joined in? Say hello when you come on, because I can't see who it is. Hello. Okay. Let me move that around. That's marginally better, I think. The lighting there. Let me put that. Let's move that over there. Hey, Carol. Okay, so here we are. Let me start that again. Here we are, friends, family, loved ones, on this fine Thursday evening. So that's what I was saying. So feeling, oh my gosh, I had all of the things planned, right? Hey, Rebecca, great to see you. Hey, Carmen. So I had all of the things planned and I decided to go and get my nails done. And that was a mistake right there. Interestingly, I've gone into the nail salon where I normally have my nails done, and they're normally really great, really whatever, like really accommodating, and I mean, they're always friendly and lovely. I was sitting down for like literally 55 minutes before I got moved to another chair, and you know how they get you to choose the colors that you want. So I'm sitting on the chair with all of the colors because I have 5 different ones, and sitting there, and they're like, oh, sorry for the wait. And I'm like, that's okay. And then I waited there for like another 10 minutes. And then finally we had the things done, and then I had to make them repair a nail because it was like, have you guys seen that? Not sure if it's a Vine or the YouTube video where like the nails are like going wonky and bumpy. So a couple of the nails were just not very good. So I had to make them redo them. So that is why I did not do the live, because I was planning on doing it directly after I finished my coaching and then blah, 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 blah. So that's the nails story. It was quite the saga. So I was there for like 2 hours and 45 minutes. Hey, Taryn, I've never experienced anything like it before. That is never, ever, like in the history of me having my nails done. That has never happened, ever. So quite the experience. So see how I turned that into content? So there you go. So I did post there though while I was waiting, asking you guys if I should go live tonight, and then a couple of you said yes, and then one of the girls, hey Karina, one of the girls asked me to unveil the new program that I'm going to be talking with you about, and I've just gone, oh no, I can't do that, not yet. I'm freaking excited about it. I've almost got all of the infrastructure done, but not quite ready to do the big reveal. So I will let you know though as soon as it's ready, because it's going to be freaking mind-blowing. It's going to be all of the fun. And then we had another lady, Jones, posted in, and she said, I feel like I'm on Talkback Radio. So Jones called in and she asked the question. It's like the listener question. She said, I've just listened to a podcast about, I don't know why I did that in a weird voice. It was a bit strange. I've just listened to a podcast about scheduling and how you can throw away the to-do list. How do you plan out your time? So I think that that's probably a really great thing to talk about, because I know that lots of you are time poor. I know lots of you, hey, how you going? So a lot of you are really kind of driven by structure, systems, processes, and stuff like that, as am I. And I also know that when I've got some kind of system in place, it actually helps my creative brain to do what it needs to do. So that's when I find that the inspiration comes in, the downloads come through, the intuitive hits come in, and it makes it, better, right? So much more better. Jones, I'm just about to answer your question. Hello. So the way that I do content it's really groundbreaking. I'm going to make it sound really fancy when it's really not that fancy. The thing that I do first and foremost is I create some skeleton content, right? So that's the first thing. So I believe that no matter what happens, no matter whether I am feeling it, whether I'm not feeling it, whether I'm actually present at my computer or in my phone, that there are things going up on my Facebook page, right? I'm a huge believer in adding value. Now, the truth of the matter is that if I was sitting here going, oh, right, yep, it's 10:03 a.m., I've got to go and put up a photo and do some text, it just wouldn't happen. I've got things essentially on a to-do list in my head that I need to do and get through every day. And if I have to do that manual stuff, it kind of clogs up. It clogs up the feed, if you like the download feed in my head. So I don't like to be reliant on me being disciplined and vigilant about posting things at certain times. So I work through and use a process of creating some skeleton content. Now, what I do with that personally is I will go into, and you see this go through my feed. For those of you that click see first, you'll see all of it. For those of you that come over and you sort of like scroll through the feed and you have a look at what's been posted in the past, you'll see that there's some kind of like almost like standard sort of images that I use. So I use the mandala image. I'll use some, picture quotes of me and maybe quotes from the book, stuff like that. So what I do is I'll go into Canva and I'll create 30 of those images with whatever the text is. And then I literally open up a Word document and I will sit and go, all right, so that's image number 1. What am I going to say about that? Image number 2, what am I going to say about that? Image number 3, what am I going to say about that? And I do that for as many months in a row as I can, right? So assuming that there's 30 days in every month, because that's the maximum number of images you can have in a Canva file. So I'll create 30 images in one hit and then create 30 words to go with those images. Now, what I'll then do, either myself or if I have a VA on staff at the time, what we'll then do is go ahead and schedule those in, usually 2 weeks in advance, right? Because a lot can change in 2 weeks. So I don't want to schedule it too far in advance, but I want to know, like over the Easter weekend, for example, we're going camping. Yeah, well, it's glamping, but we're going camping. And I will probably not be as as available. I don't know what the internet's going to be like where we're going, and I don't want to be reliant on me going like, oh yeah, bam, I've got to have to share that with you. We will be coming into town at various different times because I do want to talk to you about this new program. But in the meantime, what I've got going on is I've got scheduled content that has been put into the system in order to start or to be disseminated through so that you guys are still hearing from me without me needing to be present. So that's one thing. In terms of blogging and things like that, the process that I actually use for that is in 2 parts, and it depends on what I'm doing at the time. And I don't want to confuse you guys, but I guess the thing that is if I'm in a launch process or if I'm actively promoting something, then the blogs and everything like that tend to come out through my journaling for the day, like what the message is for the day. So today it was about being hung up on the outcome, right? So I don't know if you guys saw the blog that I put up earlier today. That came out in my journal. I can't find the page. Oh my gosh, there's so much writing. It's just ridiculous. Where did I write that? Here it is. So it says true or false. It's okay to be hung up on the outcome and it depends on the blah, blah, blah. So that was kind of where the blog came out. So I don't have a to-do list per se, Jones, where I'm like, right, I have to make sure that I'm writing a blog because that just happens. You know, I literally, it comes out of my journal. I then write it up in my, up on my website, share it on the Facebook thing and so on and so forth. So that's how I do that. And that's usually an intuitive blog. If I'm not feeling inspired, if I'm not feeling jazzed about maybe much of anything, it depends on what's going on. So if I'm finding it really hard, like wading through mud or trying to run in quicksand, and we know how that goes, right? Well, in theory, I will revert back to my content map. So, and then I'll be like, okay, so what month are we in? What week are we in? What does my content map say that we're talking about today? Hang on, this week. So this week I'm supposed to be talking about, stories. All right, so telling stories. I didn't disappear. I just walked over to my content map that's on the wall. So what I would do is go, okay, so I've got to write a blog about, or I've got to share something about stories. What might I talk about? So then I might share the story structure or share a story that illustrates the power of story, talk about why stories are really important, so on and so forth. So I think it's a bit of I think it's a bunch of shit when people say that you can just throw out your to-do list, right? Because you've got a to-do list in your head anyway. So it's a bit like when you get up in the morning, you know that you get up, you might go to the bathroom, you have a shower, you brush your teeth, I hope, you organize your coffee, you know, in what I do, I get up, I get my gym clothes on, put deodorant on, get my gym clothes on, we go for a walk, I come back, I exercise, I usually do my energy work. And, you know, like I've got a to-do list in my head. So when people say that we should throw the to-do list out, I think it leaves, if we're taking that as a literal thing, then oftentimes things just don't get done. Or some days some things get done and then other things don't get done, and things can fall by the wayside. Hey, Kathy, thanks for coming on. Jones, let me know if that clarifies, you know, my opinion, my stance on that, because on one hand, I agree, you know, we don't always want to have a to-do list, right? Because I think being in flow and being able to create the space for those intuitive hits is really important. But I also think it's a little bit of like, you know, the other myth that I had a bit of a rant about today, you know, not being hung up on the outcome. Like, we're always hung up on the fucking outcome. It just depends on the depth of the hang up, really. So that's that. The thing that I do, however, want to make sure that I'm doing, and I developed a checklist for it because I am the queen of checklists apparently and systems, is I'll go and do the intuitive stuff, right? So I've got the skeleton content going up. Then I go and do the intuitive stuff, which is like a Facebook Live, like doing a live stream. And then what I do is I then go, all right, what do I need to then do with that every day? So I write the blog, and it's a literal tick and flick thing. I put the blog on the website, I put it up on the Facebook page, I share it as a post, I do it as an Instagram post, I share it as a story, I email it out to the list. You know, I just kind of like work through what I'm going to do. And then if I'm doing a live stream, I do a live stream every day, but when I do the live stream, I'm pretty much going, all right, so 10 ways of like, what are the 10 things that I need to do? Where can that piece of content go out 10 different ways? How do you plan what's happening each day? Not the content, but the actual task. That's a really good question. So I'll answer that in two ways. One thing that I used to use was a 90-day planner, and I would live and die by that thing. And I would just have, all right, all the things that need to be done. So not from a content perspective. I can show you one. Oh no, I can't. They're away. I would have, like, say on a Monday, I know all of the different things that I need to do on a Monday. So check Facebook ads, check the funnels, check the emails, ads tracking, income tracking, Facebook Live, share that to YouTube. You know, it was like just like So I'll have a list of things that need to be completed. I don't go into my calendar and schedule time in to do each of those activities. I might have a block of 3 hours and I'll look at say that's the list. This is not the list. This is a list of a thing of articles that I need to write. But I might look at the list and go, okay, my literal way of doing it is either one way or the other. And one thing is going, all right, what is the fastest thing that I can tick off to get moving right now? Like, what's the quickest thing? What can I just get rid of? What can I tick off? And then I'm like, done. The other way that I'll do it is like going and looking at the list and thinking, okay, what is the most important thing in here? What is the thing that I've been putting off? And then I would focus on doing that. So, and that usually works for me. So I don't go in and necessarily schedule all of the things. One thing that I do when I was doing this, and you guys will remember when I was doing my live streams at the same time every day without fail, except for a Tuesday, which was at 11. So every day I'd go live at 9 and I'd have an 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. I'd do more like a show. And I'd have a season, and you know, I'd have all the topics mapped out, and so that you guys knew in advance kind of what was coming. So in my calendar, I would have those blocked in. But other than that, in terms of the actual operation, like the operational running of the business, I don't kind of list that all out. Does that answer that? If there's something different, Jones, that you wanted me to clarify for you, let me know. Because I'm an open book. I'm super happy to jam on whatever you want to jam on. The only other thing that I do where I might sometimes go, you know, where I'm not necessarily working off a structured to-do list, I will make a list, right? So for example, with the program that I'm going to be launching in the next few days, I've gone, all right, so I've got to decide on what the fast action bonuses are. I need to, and then I've like dotted those out. I've got on here that I've got to go set up the order forms. I've got to set up the payment plans. I've got to do the graphics, you know, so I know that I've got those tasks to do. They're not being scheduled out in advance. They're not being done by anyone else. I'm doing that. So it's just about making sure that I'm managing the time block that I've got available, which might be 2 hours, unless you've got a nail appointment that blows out by 2 hours, and then all that stuff you're going to do in the 2 hours doesn't get done, and then you're live streaming on what feels like a Friday night at 7:37 p.m. Hey Sarah, great to see you. Jones, let me know that makes sense. Okay, cool, thumbs up, awesome. The thing that I did for a really long time was I used, like I was saying, I used a 90-day planner, and this really helped me to build the discipline, right? About doing the things that needed to be done on a daily basis. So what I would do is I'd go, all right, so for the next 90 days, what are my goals for the next 90 days? And then I'd work it back and go, all right, what are out of those 90-day goals, or things that I want to achieve, what can I focus on doing in the next 30 days? So I'd actually almost like break it down into a 30-day block. So then I've got the 30-day block, and then I would look at going, okay, so out of all of the stuff that I want to achieve in that 30 days, I'm just trying to think if I've got one handy. Out of that 30-day block, what am I going to do in week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4 of the month? And then I would break that down further, like that week 1, I would allocate a day to do whatever those activities were. And like I followed that and made millions of dollars following that from like literally, oh golly, I started using that at the end of 2011. And I really didn't kind of put it away and trust that I could do it without the list until probably January this year, right? So it was like literally 8 years, 7 years. Oh, you're welcome, Kathy. I'm pretty sure that I've got, if you guys want a copy, let me see if I've got a link. Because I'm sure I gave it away as a download. What's this one? Oh, no. /90 day. No, doesn't look like it. But what I can do, if you guys would like a copy of it, if you want to come back to this later, I will put the link in, because I know that I gave it away as a download at one point, so I don't actually know why I can't, just like a free download. You've just got to opt in. And then you're going to get emails from me if you don't already do that. And my emails are fabulous, naturally. So you'll be up to date on all of the happenings. Kathy, it's something that really, really helped me with just getting a bit of structure. So I'm one of those people who I really admire, people who are really kind of like free flowing and happy as Larry people and whatever. And I'm just like, I can't freaking, I can't do that. I find it really challenging and really hard. So I'm still looking for this download for you. Really challenging and really hard to kind of just completely free flow until I've really got it down. And then I think the reason I kept using it for so long was actually more from a place of fear than from a place of really actually needing it. Because honestly, like the last 4.5 months, I've done all of the things that I needed to do anyway without having my 90-day planner thing there. So yeah, it was a bit strange. All right, I can't find this link off the top of my head. I'm not looking at my head. I'm looking at the computer. Yeah, that's really great, Sharon. So procrastination generally comes from a place of fear, right? And that usually then feeds into the overwhelm and everything else. So what I will do is I will find the download for you. I'll post it up in here. I'm not going to recommend that podcast because obviously I haven't listened to it. So I'm glad that you've had value from it. That's really awesome. But I will see if I can find this download link for you all and we'll go from there. I can't even see it. There you go. And if I haven't, I'll just give you the download because I can't even find the opt-in form. And then if you want to be added to my email list, you'll message me and let me know. And then I can update you with all of the things as they happen, as I send them out. So I trust that will have been helpful for you. Like I said, I think throwing the to-do list out is a bit silly. Actually, I don't think it's actually helpful. I do think you've got to be particularly disciplined, however, around what you put on your to-do list, right? So if you've got something on, this is what I'll do. Actually, give me a sec. I'll show you one. This will be one that I prepared earlier. Hopefully I've got it here. And if I don't, I won't be able to share it with you. My filing system is, can you hear all those papers? It's actually a little embarrassing, my filing system. Where is my to-do list? Oh my God. Oh look, I can't even get my hands on it. That's really odd. Well, guys, there you go. Like, I can't even show you the thing that I want to show you because I can't even get my hands on it. How's that? So, there you go. I can't show you. So, I'll find it and I'll share it with you later, either tonight or not tonight, maybe another day. So on that note, if you've got any questions about anything, make sure you let me know, and we'll go from there. Yeah. I don't schedule time in a planner. No, I just know what needs to get done and I just work through the list. I do have a list to work through. Like, I'm not exactly sure if you're saying that's the premise of the podcast or if that's what, like, paraphrase, like trying to explain what I do, because that's not at all what I do. I have a great sense of achievement. I love crossing things off. I want to feel like at the end of the day that I've had some wins and that I've been able to work through the stuff that needed to get done. So what I'll sometimes do on that, on my 90-day planning document, even if I've had something else show up that I'm like, oh, I need to do that, I'll actually write it on the list and then cross it off, because, you know, it gives me a great sense of achievement that I've freaking nailed it. So, yeah, that's that. All right, cool beans. Well, have a great night. I will find this document and I will share it with you. Meanwhile, have an amazing evening. Have a great night. Happy Easter, happy Easter to you and your loved ones. And I will speak with you over, or maybe tomorrow, maybe over the next few days. But otherwise, go have a safe and happy Easter break. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.